What's going on, everybody? Young Skittles here, bringing you the latest thing that I have built today, and it is this wall of polished diorite. It is just absolutely daunting. No, actually, what I have built is something I'm going to brand as the ultimate furnace array. Why do I say ultimate furnace array, and why do I have long, dramatic pauses in between each of those words? Well, we'll get to that. But first, um, you know, last time we looked at Mumbo Jumbo's smart storage solutions, and we looked at a practical application for that. Uh, he also did what he called a blast furnace, and I saw that and I was like, yeah, I like it, that's a great design. How can I make one different and better? Again, I refer to Mumbo, last video and this video. It's not like I'm trying to take his ideas, change them, or copy them, or whatnot. It, how, this is how I become a redstone person. I see a guy do something, I look at it, examine it, etc., etc., and I think to myself, how can I do this differently, but make it work exactly the same, if not better, by adding a few extra things here and there. And so with this, I have added, I haven't added, I have added, but I have made, you got a line of 8 furnaces. As you see the signs, log and fuel input, we go ahead and put each of this in here, and it's going to take quite a while. I'm going to tell you, this is not at all fast. However, it can be made fast. This is just the ultimate, and it takes 3 items at a time, as we see. Takes them to their correct area. Any extra fuel is brought here after every possible inventory is filled up, and that will take quite a while. Our item output is here, so the things that we get from the furnaces that come there, and the input goes here. So let's cook up some iron ore, and hopefully we can see this spread around a bit. It might take a while. I decided to make this viewable thing, but also hidden at the same time, so you can actually see when the furnaces are going, as well as access them. So you see we got some charcoal there, and we should have some of this going somewhere. I hope, if I did it right. But yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest. I swear this works. You know, you test it and you test it and it works, and then you press record, and it's just like, yeah. We suddenly decided that we're not doing that. Let's go ahead and game mode 1 and take a look at what is going on and why we are not getting any iron ore in here. Okay, it appears that we are getting the iron ore in there, but because it pulls 3 items at a time, and the fact that it will cross these 4 furnaces first, while the fuel will come in these 4 furnaces first, which makes no amount of sense. But to be fair, it's much more difficult to kind of have both things come in on the same side, as well as try to make everything not interfere with each other. So let's take a look at this here, and apparently mobs are spawning. Let's change that. We are in the latest snapshot 10C, but here, the reason why I say this is ultimate is because this whole thing here is the actual smelter. Why is it so large? I know you're probably at this point shitting bricks, as they would say, but there's a reason for that. Each individual piece along here is easy access for any type of fuel. what makes this smelter any different than any other smelter you might see is that you can literally put any type of fuel in here and it will always become an option. And it also makes its own charcoal. So this little setup here will basically sort out logs, and then you can also put coal and or charcoal here as fuel for this. It just basically sorts out everything. I used feathers because there's a lot of things that can go in a furnace, but feathers will not be pushed into a furnace with a hopper in case something breaks. But it wouldn't, shouldn't. Hopefully it doesn't. I've said that before. But the thing is this is quite massive, and you can just see the amount of hoppers, the amount of redstone, the the lines and lines of rail, all of it powered mostly, just to get a faster speeding process going, and the numerous chests and etc. 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 You might think that how in the hell is this survival friendly, and I'll tell you that it is customizable. Basically, you can take this box here, this little box is the core function of the furnace, the turbo smelter. Mostly the core because it contains the furnaces. I mean, what's a turbo smelter in Minecraft without furnaces? Um, but you also have options as to how fuel is processed. The input for the smelting items is relatively simple. You just the hoppers above your furnaces, hoppers behind your furnaces for fuel, hoppers above for the input, hoppers below for the output. And it's pretty simple. We can fly down here and we can take a look that it all pushes into the chest, and the extra fuel does in fact push into here. But the fact that it's customizable to how you exactly want it is what makes it perfect, in my opinion. Far better than any other array out there. Uh, I mean, it's really simple to do. The most difficult part about this is trying to figure out the rails and trying to make them not overlap and cross into each other. But let's take a look at the two different functions of the whole fuel system here. What we have is we have these two different systems here for storing your fuel and managing your fuel. One is basically just that. It just stores fuel. So if you have coal blocks, saplings, planks, pretty much anything that can be used as fuel in the furnace, you can just store it, and then your hopper minecart would just run along here, going back and forth from your furnaces to a line of these, or a line of both, or a line of just those, and it'll pull the fuel out. Um, as it goes past. This will just store it. It's just your simple item sorter. Only holds one item. There's no the there's no extra items being held that you don't want held. So you don't have to have a lot of things. You can see this is going, and things are filling up down here. And let's just, I don't know, let's take all this out, put the one back in, and you can see that the hopper's locked, and I guess maybe because let's just do like 3. That was do 3. So we put 3 in, and okay, maybe it does store 1 there. I guess I haven't used this in a while. Oh boy, I'm telling you the wrong things. Anyway, this just stores your fuel, and this over here actually will make fuel and potentially store fuel. So what we have is just your furnace. You got a sorter for logs. It's coded to 1 log. I've tried it with multiple logs, and it does not work. I wish I knew. I wish I knew of a bump my mic. I wish I knew of of an item sorter that's sorted more than one item in a hopper at a time. But we just have coal, charcoal, and that feeds into here, and just your log here, so it will actually make charcoal. And if there's an abundance of fuel here, so like say if you have charcoal in the furnace, and you also have coal coming in, the coal will be pulled out as well the charcoal and sent into your furnace array. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean that's all to it. Anyway, if there seems to be an interest in this, leave a comment below, letting me know if you would like a world download and or a tutorial on how to set up one of these, how to possibly get them going, etc., etc. I say that a lot, but you know, I'd rather say etc., etc. than But yeah, so that's it for me, guys. Until next time, bye. What's going on, everybody? Young Skittles here, and I'm adding this bit in to the end of the video here after recording it. I just wanted to point out a few things that I actually failed to mention in the video, but there is a caption for, and that is with this sorter here that it is limited to stackable items only, like the coal, and with the fuel, the charcoal maker. You can put any sort of log in here. It doesn't have to be oak. It can be any of the 6 types. You just swap this out. But for the typical sorter here, it's just 21 random items. I chose feathers because they do not push into furnaces via hoppers. And with this here as selecting a fuel for anything here to power this, it can be any. It can also be any stackable fuel item. It does not have to be limited to charcoal and coal. It could be literally anything here in this possible array. So for here we have crafting tables. It can be crafting tables. Here we got oak wood slabs. It can be anything from any of the such items. I mean, even daylight sensors, if you really want to invest in quartz as a fuel. But I don't know why you would. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that this really is customizable, and this is not just this. It does not have to be this big. It can be literally just one of these, just one of those, or the whole array. I mean, this does cover every single piece of viable stackable fuel item. And as far as how things are pushed in and out of here, I'm actually going to look into changing that so that the fuel and and here we go with the rain. The fuel and the items that you're trying to smelt go in the same side at first. So currently, right side is input, left side is fuel, and it'll stack in the furnaces as such. So here, we still have the fuel, and then over here we still have the iron, but no fuel to power it, and that's just kind of idling until we have a bulk overflow of everything. And it's not what I intended. I know it's not the most effective way to post a feature video, but hey, it's just a concept video rather than a tutorial, to be honest. But I just wanted to let you know that something like this is possible. It's very, very resource heavy. It's extensive to build. It took me about an hour to build all this, and to create multiply that by like 2 or 3 for survival, for resource gathering and stuff like that. I mean, really, you really need a quartz farm, a redstone farm, an iron farm, and like a wood farm and some sort of cobble farm. But I mean, most of everything here, is pretty much farmable items, but it's just a pain to collect individually. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I don't want to keep you much longer, but that's just a few things I failed to mention, and I wanted to point out. So yeah, if anybody's interested, just leave a comment. I'll throw up a world download somewhere. I don't know yet, or even throw a tutorial up or something like that. Check back on the channel for a later date, and I'll work this out on fixing where it comes in at. So until then, guys, bye.